what's up everybody? Here we are, another episode of SR Synth Weekly. I am always, as usual, your beautiful Redneck here. And here we are in the world of some great synth music, synthwave, synthpop, EDM, everything we've got, anything synth, we're going to play it. And we've got a great show today. I've got some great new music, and we're just going to jump right in and get started. First up today, we have HeartBeatHero and Relative Ability. Now, I've played HeartBeatHero a couple of times before, and adding the Relative Ability, I don't know much about them, but I'm thinking it's just the same group, just added name. So if I'm wrong, Heartbeat, please tell me. The song they sent me today is called Friends, and they call this a chill track that makes you feel good. I kind of went that way, but I didn't. My two kind of went with a little more shock and awe kind of feel. My first one I went with on this visual I thought up was, you know, the main group have come out of a tunnel after finding the dimensional gate to find this hidden world, and a new world is staring at them. They see the new world as vastly different, with more colors, more lights, more, you know, just vast beauty of, you know, everything going on, and everything's heightened by magic, and the magic has filled the air and the people who live there. They then, as they're traveling around, they meet the people in the village and kind of get an exposition of what's going on and how and what the whole area is, and, you know, why is it like it is. So that's the main first one I came up with. I kind of like that whole magic feel. Like I said, it kind of gives that, you know, like magical hidden city, and it just, you know, everybody, the people, you know, the main characters, they walk through and they're, you know, get a little exposition of this whole beautiful area. So that's the first one I came up with. The next one I came up with is Heroine movie, and what I mean by that is, like, the main is a heroine of this movie. It's like the main heroine is seen returning, you know, to her normal life after becoming a new person and having all the powers that was granted to her, and, you know, all the magic that she was taught, and she's taken out the bad guys and beaten the evil of this whole storyline, and she's returned to this normal life. But while she's returning to this normal life, she has this new confidence, new look, you know, just whole new persona that's just different than what she was. She's no longer the, I'll use proverbial ugly duckling, and now she's the, you know, the golden swan of this. And everyone around her knows that something's happened to her. They don't know that she's full of magic and everything, but they know that something happened, you know, during this whole storyline to make her different. We then see, as the song progresses, you know, it's like most little, like, I use this kind of like a high, you know, those like school movies. That's where I came up with this last part. We see her getting her revenge against the bullies or bad guys that were doing wrong to everyone, as the story ends, and we see her walk off after, you know, the bullies are, you know, taken care of, or, you know, beaten by their own devices, so to speak, and she gets the revenge, and we see her walking off with her friends, and they're all laughing, and that's kind of where the story ends. I kind of like both feel. Both could work on several different movies, but the song can work on both really easily. So check it out. For our first one today, it's a really good start. It's a Heartbeat, Hero, and Relative Ability, and the song is called Friends. Next today we have our good friend No Feed, and if you don't know, this is a synth rock group based out of Columbus, Ohio, and a really good group. They got that synth rock and that whole just feel going down. The song they sent me today is called Ghost Girl, and this is from his next EP, which I don't think is out yet, but I'll have to double check or just check on their website. This song just gives me a kind of a heel turn feel, and what I mean by that is, like, you know, the main secondary friend or lover has been a double agent and turns on the main character. We see them leaving, you know, as we see the secondary character lover or whatever leaving as the main has been captured or beaten, and this whole time, you know, the lover that was with him has gained some, you know, feeling, but they've got to turn on him to go in there. And the lover then goes to the main evil, in which it's where her true allegiance lies. And then we see her moving through with a subplot. We now get her kind of plot, secondary plot on who they really are and why they're an agent, you know, why they're a double agent. So basically what it is that the person that they're with is actually is not who they seem to be. They turn on the main character, and, you know, and as the main character is being pulled back, we see them, you know, we kind of get an exposition on why the secondary character / lover is a double agent, and, you know, what turned that way. Also, next one it gives me is also kind of gives me is like a fighting arena sort of deal. And what I mean by that, and I don't mean like actual, you know, like Mad Max. I mean, this is kind of like one of those, you know, you're facing, you know, just like a battle for whatever, supremacy for like some of these movies you've seen with the, you know, you're fighting for your country or something like that. And this one kind of gives me like main has entered the arena for the first time to face a mass fighter. As the battle wages on, we see the main find out that the main's friend is the one that they're battling in a second life they've been having. So basically what it is that this mass fighter is actually a friend of the main's, and, you know, they found out during the fight that that's who they are, and the main character never knew it. And the fight ends in a draw, or, you know, it's stopped, but the friend leaves, and we kind of get an exposition on why this friend is fighting for the bad guy, while the main is led back to a quarters or cell or whatever. As the heavy part of this song and the song starts to go, we see the main escape to meet up with the friend to try to get the explanation on why they're there. So basically, you know, it just gives me that whole, you know, main has a second lie. I mean, the main is fighting for something, and the secondary friend is, you know, fighting for something else, and, you know, just trying to survive themselves, and, you know, they just found out that they have to fight each other and find out why. So they both kind of work for me. I kind of like the heel turn a little better, but you know, both work. So check it out. It's a really good song, and as always, check out their platforms. Really good music. So check it out today. It's No Feed, and the song is called Ghost Girl.
I thought I knew you. You proved me wrong, and I'm nothing new to you. Ghost girl, you're a ghost. Girl, you're a ghost. Tomorrow is nothing. The good lived yesterday. I'm sure you can relate. Ghost. Ghost. Girl, you're a ghost. Girl, you're a ghost. cast aside and cut off, tore me to shreds. Now you're gone without a trace. Ghost. Ghost, girl, you're a ghost. Girl, you're a ghost. Ghost, girl, you're a ghost. Girl, you're a ghost. Ghost, girl, you're a ghost. Girl, you're a ghost. It'll go a miracle. Ghost, girl, you're a ghost. It'll go a miracle. Ghost, girl, we connect.
Next up today, we have a good new group I have, and I love the name. It's DJ Dingobread. I love it. They're a multi-genre, kind of artist, and they do a lot of stuff. As they describe, they kind of like fit themselves as Boards of Canada, Beach House, Mogwai, Laserhawk. They kind of derive their their styles from them, sort of. The song they sent me today is called Psychedelic Sleepytime, and this is a really cool ambient sound, and it just gives me that, it gives me a cool little feel of trance, and not the trance music, but like a trance state. So what I kind of went with is kind of like an entering someone's brain kind of feel. If you've ever seen Dreamscape or I forgot what the other one was, but it kind of gives me that feel. So I went with the man is entering a trance state to enter the mind of a friend who has been stricken in a vegetative state. Something happened, either magically or scientifically, and something's happened, and they're now in a vegetative state, and their brain is pretty much locked into a state, in a stasis, so to speak. And we see them enter this whole new world in the guy's mind, or in the person's mind, and the friend has created their whole world in this whole mindset. And it's kind of giving the main character a glimpse of the workings of what is going on in this person's mind. Basically, the mind of this person has been traumatized, and they've created this whole world to save themselves, and it's completely different from what the outside world is. And we see the lights in the world, moving fast and slow, kind of like that trance, fast, slow rate. And people lost or living, walking through the world as part of his psyche. Each part is representative of a different part of this person's psyche. And the main meets the friend in the mind. Basically, everybody has their own internal person in the mind. And they get an exposition on why they can't wake up. So kind of gives me that this got the whole trance state and this whole world going through this whole internal brain world, and we get this whole exposition of what's going on and why the world's like it is, why this guy's brain or why this girl's brain is set up like it is, and why they're stuck. I like that feel. It just gives me that feel with that song, so I just like it. Also, on a second note, on completely 100 different, the mains wake up from an injury, surrounded by his friends that saved him. Then the main realizes that they're not in the same place, and they're on a new world, full of magic and people hiding from this evil. It's kind of like a city that's been magically made disappeared from evil, and no one knows it's there, and they just happen to wake up in it. And realizing this is a safe world, they know they must protect it, and return to the rest of the world like this hidden world. Basically what it is they've been beaten and injured, and I'll use kind of like the Hobbit, when Frodo wakes up in the realm of elves, and kind of, I forgot the city, what they call it, but you know the scene. Kind of gives me that same feel. It's basically waking up, they're waking up, find out they're in this whole new city that no one's ever seen before, and find out that they've been hidden from the evil that's out there, and so others can be safe. And kind of gives us that exposition of why the main character now has to, preserve this world as well as return the world to, what this safe world was like. I like both feels, so I kind of like the trance state better, but both work really well. So check it out. Like I said, it's a really good just ambience kind of sound. So Check it out. It's DJ Dingobread, love the name, and it's Psychedelic Sleepytime. As always, if you're new here, welcome, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Hope you enjoyed past shows that I've done, and if you're new here, please think about liking and subscribing to this channel, because I do weekly music. I'm going to start doing some more soon, some more videos and more music soon. So hope you like it, and hope you please like and subscribe and join my channel. And as always, and I always say this, all the musicians and all the artists in this on my episodes, make sure you like and subscribe to their channels too, and follow on all their platforms. Next up today, we have our good friend. I always screw up this name just because I screw up everybody's name. Neonian, or Neonian. No, I go with Neonian. And as always, they're a electronic IDM, EDM, kind of tech. They pretty much do everything synth. They can do it. They go through every style, and it's always good. The song they sent me today is called Clutch Burner, and they call it a sort of driving trancey electronica. Reminds me a bit of Orbital, Underworld, and me. Hey. And I kind of went with that. I mean, I kind of went with the Clutch Burner, kind of feel that, Cars, deal, or a car movie, or vehicles, the main characters in this kind of movie. So I kind of went with a team is gearing up to take off to take out the bad guy. We see them getting ready with all the gear, see them getting dressed and with all their, cool outfits and cool gears, and then take off in their vehicles, which are all modified. It's kind of like the vehicles are the main source of their fighting, And, that's kind of like the main things. But, the main characters are, they all gear up and look cool and everything else. But the vehicles are what really stands out. Then we see them going through the streets at high speed as each team member catches up to the rest of the team. Basically what they're doing is, each team member is going to the street and they all get together. You've seen that as always. They always seem to turn out at the right perfect time and, come together kind of like in a V-short formation. Anyway, once caught up, we see them using the technology and the vehicles to take out the strange evil, take out or change the evil that has been surrounding the areas and cities. Basically, they use the vehicles to take out, people who's been taking out the evil that's been taken out, hiding in the area, facing them in other vehicles, kind of like that. It kind of just gives me that feel. So that was my main feel on that. Like I said, when I went with Clutch Burner, that just kind of gave me that feel. So also on a separate note, kind of gives me the main and has entered the last sanctuary of the evil boss. We've all seen it, every movie has the last boss meeting, and they have to go through like some last weird sanctuary they got to go through. Surrounded by goons of the boss, we see the main take off at speed, showing how strong and fast they are as they take out the goons in hordes with speed. As the song progresses, we see the montage of the main beating bad guys as the boss just keeps sending out more while getting more and more worried that the main will make it through to them. Basically, we've seen it all before. The boss is just telling all the goons to go, go, go. Take him out, kill him, and kind of like I'll go with an anime. We've seen animes where the hero just flies through and just takes them all out. Lights shining, lots of blood, and stuff like that. And then we get to the main, as the main evil is just starting to get worried or more worried about happening. Both of those work for me. It could work on the same movie actually. But that's just my feel on it. So let me know what you think in the comments of what kind of feel you get on it and what kind of feel you get on all of these. And check it out. Here it is. It's Neonian, and the song is called Clutch Burner. Next up today we have, I'm going to screw up the name, so I apologize ahead of time. I hope this is how it's pronounced. Melotika or Melotika. I'm going to go with Melotika. Featuring Melodywhore. Of course, I've got another Melodywhore. I'm going to make a show of just Melodywhore groups that he's worked with, because I could have at least 3 shows with that. No, really great music. I make the joke at him. I make the joke with him, but really great artists, and always great, to see them working together. So this is Melotika, and the song they sent me today is called Joyride, and this is a slow burn mix. And they're an electro pop group, and the song that they use is Joyride is about what they describe it as. This track is a slow meditative and dark remix of Melodika's sultry and hypnotizing single Joyride. It asks the listener to embrace individuality and find comfort in being different, all while taking you on a musical journey. As I burp, sorry. I kind of went with that, but I kind of, not the individual, I kind of went with the world kind of feel. What I did is I basically said, this is where I went with it. Maine has just been awakened after an injury at the beginning. And after a long vision that they had, or a long dream sequence, we see them understand the truth of the world around them. After being awakened, we see them getting ready and dressed while adding, as they know what's going to happen. They've basically been given a vision. They were injured at the beginning of the movie, but they were given a vision by this like mystical elder or whatever they want to use. And we've seen them awakened, and they understand what's happening now, and they understand what's going on. And we see them getting ready and getting a team ready and explaining everything and adding new weapons to their arsenal while giving memories of visions running through their mind of, everything of all the visions that have been going on. We basically see the visions going on while they're getting ready. And we see them finally ready to leave and take out the evil of the world. Basically what it is, they've woken up and they found out that they've been given a vision to find out there's an evil in the world that has been plaguing everybody, and it's been coercing the world as it is. And this person is awakened out of that trance like the rest of the world, and is getting ready to take them out so the world could be at peace. And this is the getting ready and getting the vision and getting ready feel of it. Also kind of gives me a feel of like a new secondary character shows up into the city. I kind of went with not really a succubus, but kind of that same feel on it. The character is not evil, they're not good, they're both at the same time. They're kind of like an anti-hero. They work both ways, and they're filled with depression, but at the same time they're in a saddened state, but at the same time they are just continuing to swoon everybody in the city that's as they walk through, just because it's the way their whole setup is. The whole the reason that's why I use succubus, because succubus has a natural in some of the lore. You take one look at them and you're already swooned by them, and you can't help but want to be with them. And it's kind of that same feeling. They've walked into the city, and doesn't matter if they're sad, depressed, everybody wants them, and it kind of gives you that whole thing. They're saddened, but as I continue, they're saddened but walk through the city looking for the main to assist in the story, but are they there to help or hurt? Basically, the whole deal is that they've entered the city, and you kind of get the exposition that what they are, and everybody wants them, even though they don't want anybody. They just want to be left alone. But the way their whole genetic makeup is, they're set up, go in there, and they got to meet up with the main to assist in the story exposition. Could be just help saving the world, but we don't know at the time if they're there to help or hurt, if they're there to double team or actually help the main character. So kind of gives me that feel. Both work for me, but let me know what you think in the comments. And like I said, really good song. I really loved it. So check it out and check out the rest of their stuff. It's really good. So here it is. It's Melotika featuring Melodywhore, and the song is called Joyride Slow Burn Mix. Another good track we got today is Night Rider 87. Haven't played them in a while, so I was like, hey, it's about time. This is a synthwave group out of Portland, Oregon, and the song they sent me today is called Future Driven. And I'm gonna add this description because I think it's really cool. It's they describe this overall style as driving melodical synthwave with heavy undertones. This track was inspired by one of our members, Stephen Davis. He was a former car drifting days, hence the accompanying video that we created for it. I checked out the video, it's really cool, and it's got some really cool drifting on it, so definitely check that out. But the song they sent me today, like I said, it was called Future Drifting, and they said it's like goes with their car drifting days. My first thought of it, when I was first doing this, I didn't read it until after, was a getaway / escape from goons. And what I mean by that is, I went with the main and lover are shown getting to a car. The car is the main part of the story, kind of like Kit, kind of like that kind of feel. And we see them flying down the road together, having a good time in this vehicle, understanding what the vehicle does, and being together. We see the world around them moving away, all the stress of the day it's being taken away as they're together on the road. They're having a good time. They're trying to understand this new vehicle. They're with each other. It kind of gives us that whole lovey-dovey, and here's the new technology at the same time. And then we see them being followed by the bad guys, and the bad guys are trying to chase them down, and they finally figure out that, hey, we're being followed. In which now they're having to evade, but at the same time they're enjoying it because they know this new car can take it. And we see this kind of like lighthearted but intense scene where they're evading the bad guys, and at the same time they're enjoying just losing the bad guys and having fun, basically making the bad guys pay for trying to follow them. That's kind of what the first feel gave me. The second one is more dear to what I thought of on this. I call it getting ready for a race. And what I mean by that is the start of the racetrack. We've seen the main and others getting their cars ready on the track before the race. As the main part of the song starts, we see the main, who's the main character, getting ready the race, and getting in the car, getting the car sets up. The whole deal is like the whole beginning of the part of this movie. Part of the song we get. We see the teams getting their cars ready, and each driver, each bad guy or whatever. And then we see the main getting ready, get the suit on, get the car ready, and get in the vehicle, and they pull out and get ready to race. Excuse me. As the main song starts, where they're all ready at the start line, and then the racing starts as the song progresses, and we see each member or each driver trying to get, gain an advantage and the thing, and the main's basically in about mid-pack, and then we see the main is starting to fly up through the field and takes the lead, and gets that whole feel of having to go weaving through each driver, each other car, and they're all battling through this whole race sequence. And right when the song it's at right before the ending, we see the main taking the lead, and we just get that whole feel. That's kind of what I feel. I kind of went with that whole drifting deal, but I kind of went more with getting started the race and mid part of the race to take the lead. So let me know what you think. As always, and check out the rest of their stuff on the platform. Always really good music. As always, check out everybody else's platform. It's really good. All the music I play is awesome, so make sure you follow them and buy their stuff. So it's really good. So here it is. It's Night Rider 87, and the song is called Future Driven. Last up in our cavalcade of synth fun for the week, I'm going to end with Vague Notion. And I've always liked their stuff. They're a indie electronica group out of British Columbia, Canada, if you don't know. I always love this stuff. And the song they sent me today is called Orion. And they call this chord-rich and lighthearted synth grooves with some quirky elements and lush vocals. I kind of went with the start of a modding type club. And what I mean by that is we've seen those like futuristic movies where everybody's modded with technology, or hell, even Killjoys, if you've seen that show. Everybody's modded with some sort of technology, and they've completely changed, or they're genetically modified. Some kind of modding, and it's really when we see this whole club that's just nothing but modders. And as we see this, as I said, it's the whole clientele is modded. We see the club panning around inside the club, and we see each kind of group, they're dancing and being modded, or enjoying their mods and just having a great time together as a single group of this one kind of style of the world is going on. And as this is going on, we see the main walking in and seeing the lover, the main lover after a long time. And as they meet, they have a sit down on what each person has been doing over the last years, while the main is trying to recruit the lover for the help, whatever's going on in the story. Basically, the main's entered a club, and we get this whole sequence of what the club is going on. What's going on in the club. Got that little exposition of inside the club. The main is there to meet with the lover. The lover, I say lover because that's what's going to happen in the movie. They were friends or former lovers, and they meet up and they do a little reconnection on what they've been doing over some time. And here we are now. The main's got to try to recruit them into the battle of whatever the storyline is. I like that feel just because it can give you that, gives you that whole club scene, club technology, futuristic, just. I don't know, the song just gives me that futuristic vibe of a futuristic club, so let me know what you think. Next, I also kind of went on a different side. I kind of went with the main has defeated the issues of the world and this bad corporation. We see them returning after the world has been changed. I used worlds changed on this because I kind of was thinking two different things, so I kind of went with the evil corporation versus like an evil in the world, and they both kind of work. So, and we see them returning to the world that's been changed due to the main's efforts, what has been done to save the people of the world. They found out, basically, in my first thought of mine, they found out that this corporation was controlling the world and keeping people down by some other means, and they've beaten the bad guys. And the main characters have all beaten the bad guys and, saved the world by giving them back what happened, what they deserved and what the corporation has been taken out, as taken away from them, whether it be mentally, physically, whatever like kind of like technology in this case has been holding them down. And as this is happening, sorry, I lost my spot. We see the main and others each having their little ending expositions. Each character has their different ending of what's been happening ever since this corporation was taken down and the world's been changed. And as the mid-song starts, we see them finally meet with the main's lover, who know that they can finally be together. I know it's kind of cheesy, but that always seems what happens in these movies. The main and the lover always get together at that last exposition. And we see them embracing and walk off as the story ends. Basically, everybody's, after this corporation has been destroyed, we get each character's main exposition. And they're rekindling with their groups, or starting their own lives, or if I use corporations, someone starting their own corporation to help revive the other rest of the parts of the world and rebuild from what the other corporations has destroyed. And at the end, we see the two main characters loving and embrace as they walk off in the set. So that's kind of what I feel. I kind of like the modding club better, but like I always say, let me know what you think in the comments. What kind of visuals you want, because I kind of want to know. What kind of visuals you feel off of what kind of movie would this music set up? So check it out. I'm going to end today with this really cool song. It's Vague Notion, and the song is called Orion.
It was the middle of the night. Sometimes I don't sleep very well. It's better to rise with Orion and watch him dance across the sky on starry feet. He is so graceful. Then I saw you. Then I saw you from across the room. He never loses sight of his course, and all the while he's gazing into a universe of possibility. And creation at the source. And then I saw you. I saw you, ooh, from across the room. From across the I was gonna have to give up my wandering ways. I was gonna give up all of my strengths for you. All of my strengths for you. Ooh, on starry feet. He is so graceful and determined. Orion, I like a man. And then I saw you. I saw you, ooh, from across the room. And then I saw you. I saw you, ooh, from across the room.
That's it for this week for this wonderful group of cornucopia of synth and music and all different genres, all embracing the synth world. As always, I hope everybody has a great week. And if, like I said before, if you're new here, welcome. And I hope you continue to watch the show. Please like and subscribe. And as always, check out the other groups that are other shows that I've put in a list in the description, because they make some great synth shows too, and they, some really great music on their shows too. As always, check out my other stuff and check out all the artist platforms, and support them. We all have to support each other, so they help the music grow, right? So have a great one, and I'll see everybody next week. Later.